back at the airport, getting ready to go through security and catch my flight back to Frankfurt. And I'm using the time here to go through some of the comments that you guys have left on previous videos. One question that I was asked is, how do I stick to my daily routine? Number one is, I try to be really diligent the first 21 days. For some reason, the 3 weeks seems to be like a magical number. After that, it becomes a lot easier for me to follow any routine. Number two, I have this rule, never skip twice. So even if I break a streak, sometimes I just make sure the day after I become extra diligent and I go back to my routine. It doesn't feel like I've wasted all this time that I was working on this routine. I just accept that every now and then I will probably not stick to it 100%, make sure I get back the next day. And then third is, if I see that something really doesn't work out, I try to adapt it and still get to the same result. Whatever experiment I want to do, I find different metrics to test it. Another question was, how do I spend my time on flights? The answer to that is pretty much the way I spend my time when I'm not on an airplane. So during day flights or when I'm up, I'm usually working or reading or thinking. Other times when I'm relaxing or sleeping, I try to do the same on planes. Another question someone asked in regards to the hiring video, if we use any kind of personality tests or other data-driven techniques to assess candidates. And we do use one personality test from 16personalities.com. It's quite playful and it doesn't take too long, and we mainly use it to understand how to best communicate to someone, but it doesn't have an influence on whether we hire someone or not. I think overall we care more about the actual work that we see a candidate doing than what they've done in the past. For example, we also don't look at CVs beyond the point of, are they well formatted, well structured, and did the candidate put in the time required to give full and motivated answers. Time to head back on the airplane, another 747-400 from Toronto to Frankfurt in about 8 hours. Here's a gorgeous shot of it. So this is going to be my home for the next 7 to 8 hours on the way to Frankfurt. I just landed in Frankfurt, got to the lounge, and before I'm going to get my shower, I wanted to answer one more question, which was, how do I invest in startups? How do I decide which ones to invest in? At the moment, I'm not actively looking for investments anymore, but I used to with Tenderloin Ventures. Mainly between 2014 and 2016 is when we invested a lot. We invested in 2 buckets. Bucket number 1 is Swiss e-commerce. The thesis there being that Amazon is not a strong player in Switzerland. There's room for high margin niche markets. Some of the startups that I'm invested in, Amorana or Farmi. Amorana is the largest e-commerce site for adult toys or sex toys in Switzerland. Farmi is an online site for food. They bring food directly from the farmer to the end consumer. The second category of companies that I'm invested in are companies that scale really well. Requirement is that at scale, when the company is grown out, it requires less than 1 staff for an additional 1,000 to 10,000 users. Examples for which companies we invested in include ZenJob, Yodel, which is a social network, or Clark, which is an insurance manager. And with that, I'm gonna finish this trip, freshen up, and then jump on the train back to Zurich, and I'll see you tomorrow.